Hey guys, good morning, Radical Transformation Project family. How are you guys? You guys, I realize I need to start introducing myself because there's so many new people in this group, and I just always get on here. I just assume everyone knows who I am, which is like, I don't know. My name is Faith Mariah. I run the blog radicaltransformationproject.com and the podcast Radical Transformation Podcast. I share my mental health and personal development journey. Well, my hair is doing, what is my hair doing? My hair is doing things. I share my mental health and personal development journey on the internet to try and help other people and to just share what I'm going through and the lessons I'm learning. And it's been really fun. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my community. I'm really excited to have you. I love this little Facebook group. I started it like kind of randomly a year ago, and it's just grown and grown and grown. But it's such a beautiful space, and you guys give each other such good advice. Every time I come in here and read the feed, I'm like, just so, it like warms my heart how amazing all of you are. So thank you for being here and making this community such a beautiful, loving, happy place on the internet. I super appreciate all of you. But I have a story for you guys. Yesterday, I told this story in the email. If you're not on my email list, go to radicaltransformationproject.com. It's free. It's usually like, I say it's a daily-ish. It's like daily most of the time, except for sometimes I don't send it if I don't have anything to say, right? But it's almost every day I send out, it's a really short email. It takes like 2 minutes to read. And it's just like a little motivational, helpful kind of thing I put together for you guys. But if you want to be on the email list and you're not, just go to radicaltransformationproject.com, fill out any of those forms on the site, and that will put you on the email list. But anyway, I sent this in an email the other night, but I wanted to come on here and share it with you guys because I know not everyone reads the emails, and sometimes sometimes it's nicer to hear things face to face, right? So yesterday I read a news article that really, really got me down. That stuff really affects me. I have a hard time reading the news. I am a sensitive soul. I've always been like that, right? I struggle with anxiety, struggle with depression, struggle with all these things. And so when I read the news, it just really broke my heart. And I got really, really sad. Hey, Joy, how are you? I get your emails and love them. I'm so happy you say that. Thank you. I really like sending them, and I've been trying to send more. And I'm always kind of scared that I'm bothering people or something when I send them. So it really encourages me. I've been getting a lot of good feedback about them lately. It really makes me feel good. So thank you for reading them. But anyway, so I read this news article. I was feeling really down, really crappy, right? It was just like everything is dark, everything is hard. I felt like the world was so unfair. I felt like the world was so dark. It felt so senseless and sad and difficult, right? And there's a lot of unfair, bad things in the world. I'm sure you guys know that. Like, I don't have to tell you that, right? We've all lived through different tragedies, I feel like, in our different ways and gone through things that are unfair in our own ways as part of our journey, I feel like, as human beings, right? To walk through these times. But I was just thinking, it felt like overwhelming to me. I felt like there's so much darkness and hard things happening in the world right now. And there's so many people suffering and there's so many bad things happening. And I just got really, really overwhelmed by it. But I went outside and I was able to shift my mindset. And this is the part I want to share with you guys. Not that the world is dark. I went outside and I walked the dog and I walked around and I was just thinking to myself like about miracles. And I had to remind myself, and we have to remind ourselves these truths sometimes, right? Because our culture will show you things are bad. This bad thing happened. This bad thing happened. This bad thing happened. Or if you work at a job like where I used to work, right? All my coworkers used to be negative, and they used to be like, the weather is bad. The parking is bad. Everything is bad. You know, I have members of my family, right? Where it's like, everything is bad. Everything is hard. Everyone's always talking about like how everything is so bad. But the truth is, there's just as much good things, right, happening. Like miracles happen every day. And that's what I was trying to remind myself. And I think it's important. Sometimes we have to give ourselves those truths, right? And remind ourselves like, no, actually, there are miracles every day that happen. There are, people that live through things that they shouldn't. There are people that fall in love. There are people that receive some blessing that they couldn't even imagine, right? They receive the things that they need in a tough time. Someone helps someone else out. These things are happening constantly. Like there's good things happening all around us all of the time. And I had to remind myself of that because our culture doesn't teach us to focus on that and doesn't ever remind like you never turn on the news and they're like, so many miracles happen today, miracles are everywhere, what an amazing life, everything's so great, right? That's not how our culture works. But it's imperative to my mental health and my well-being that I live in that reality, right? Because I personally, with my mental health, cannot cope focusing on the negative things. I can't be the person that I want to be, do the work I want to do, help the people I want to help, if I'm living in that reality where everything is hard and everything is dark and I'm focusing on the struggle, right? I have to choose to live in a reality where miracles happen every day, and I'm aware of that, right? And I'm focusing on that. So I went outside and I was literally, this sounds like stupid, but I'm just going to tell you guys anyway. So like, I was literally walking around and I was thinking in my head, I was just like, miracles, 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 miracles are everywhere. Miracles are all around me. Miracles are happening right now. There's so much good happening. There's so many good things. Miracles are everywhere. And I just kind of kept like saying that to myself, almost like an affirmation. Like, I'm surrounded by good. I'm surrounded by miracles. There's so much good energy. There's so many good people. There's so much love. There's so much kindness. There's so many miracles. There's so many miracles all around me. And I literally was like saying that in my head over and over and over again. And I walked around my neighborhood and I could feel the energy. Like, I really tried to feel those feelings in my body of being surrounded by love, that I'm in a world where I'm surrounded by love and I'm surrounded by kindness and I'm surrounded by good things, and just put myself almost in like a bubble, right? Of like, things are good for me, like, because I choose that, right? And I used to play the victim role and be so helpless about my reality and the way I felt and the things that happened to me, right? I used to just be at the total mercy of how people treated me, how things went, totally dictated my mood, right? I didn't take any responsibility for how I felt. I didn't take any responsibility for the way things are for me, right? So if this had happened to me, like, you know, a couple years ago and I read a newspaper article, that could have spiraled me into like a deep, dark depression, because I would have been like, the world is dark and that's just how it is. And there's nothing I can do about it, because I was so powerless, right? But the truth is, we're powerful. Like, you get to decide what reality you live in a lot of ways, right? Everything is so dark and everything is so hard. We're surrounded by miracles. Neither of those are hard scientific truths, right? You can make a case for either one, and both would be right. You would be right. You know what I mean? So it's like, which reality do you want to be in? And sometimes I have to fight and struggle and decide, I'm surrounded by love. I'm surrounded by blessings. This is my reality. I decide. I get to decide, right? I choose to be surrounded by love. I choose to be surrounded by miracles. I choose to connect to that energy and to focus on that, right? Because I have to, because I can't show up in the world and do the things that I'm here to do in my one beautiful life I've been given. I can't do the things I want to do if I'm focusing on this darker place, even though that's easier for me, right? My brain, if you guys have been following me, you know my brain is like a toxic negative. I'm not naturally a positive person, like by any stretch of the imagination, right? My brain will take me down some dark rabbit holes, like, if I let it, right? But I can't go there, because I believe my one life I was given is too important to waste. And I want to show up, you know, for the people that I care about and the people that I love, for my communities, for all of the things that I care about. I want to show up the best I can and be the best version of myself. And I cannot do that if I let myself live in this dark reality. And so I have to always constantly be deciding and finding ways to shift into this lighter, happier reality where I'm surrounded by love and surrounded by miracles. And I'm always looking for working. My connection is being weird. But I hope that helps you. But it's not that you have to go outside and say the things that I say. It's about, what can you say to yourself to put yourself in the reality you want to live in, right? What kind of reality do you want to decide is true for you? What's true for you, right? I always say it like, you get to decide your truth, right? What's true for you? I decide my truth, right? I decide that I live in a beautiful world surrounded by miracles and love. That's my truth. I get to choose that. No one gave that to me, right? I didn't live like a blissful, happy, wonderful life and skip into that like reality, right? I chose that, and I still am choosing that. And it's not that it's always easy. It's not, right? Like, I have to sometimes like go outside and say prayers and like, you know, ask sometimes I'll ask, like, you know, how can I see this differently? That's like a prayer I'll say a lot. If you don't believe in God, it doesn't matter. You can just ask your higher self, or like, you know, I believe that you're given all of the answers you need. So just ask yourself, like, how can I see this differently? I'm willing to see this situation differently, right? I'm willing to see this differently. And I was asking myself and saying that, and that's when I started doing the miracles thing, right? I just started literally saying in my head, like, miracles, 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 miracles are everywhere. I'm surrounded by miracles, surrounded by love. Miracles are happening right now. Miracles are happening right now. I can feel them happening. I can feel the love. I feel how many good people there are in this world. I feel how many blessings I have, right? Miracles. Miracles have happened in my life. There's more miracles in the future. There's miracles literally happening all around me right now, right at this second, right? And I just had to remind myself of that reality of what was my truth, right? And you can tell it's your truth because it feels aligned. This is the other thing. It's like when you're going down those rabbit holes and things feel hard and things feel dark and you're like, the world is so unfair, everything is awful. That feels really bad because that's not your divine truth, right? Your truth feels good, feels happy, feels light. And so that's how I always know I'm on the right path, right? When I'm walking around thinking about miracles, my soul feels better. It feels soothing. This stuff that when you're thinking in your head doesn't feel soothing and doesn't feel aligned, it's because it's not your truth. It's just toxic, like, stuff that you've picked up, you know, from our culture or from your childhood or whatever, right? But that's not part of your soul's aligned truth. It's just like crap you've picked up along the way. The truth in your soul and your heart, like, will always feel soothing and always feel good. So I hope that helps you. But yeah, that's what I do. I just literally will ask myself or God, I'll just be like, I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to see how this is for my good. That's another one I'll say a lot. I'm willing to see how this is for my good. Help me see this differently. I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to see how this is for my good. I've been really into like these walks lately where I will just walk and like think affirmations and shift my mindset. So I'll literally walk around, I'll look up at the trees, I'll look up at the sky, I'll be like, this world is so amazing. Look at the sky, like look at the trees. Like I literally think about like, what is this life? Is so wild. This human experience we're having is so crazy and so beautiful, and we're so blessed, right, in so many ways. And I'll just think about that. But anyway, gosh, I can't tell a short story to save my life. I thought this was going to be like 2 minutes long. Hey guys, thanks for coming on here. I love your emails. Oh, I'm so happy. That makes me feel so good, you guys. You know, I have a lot of people on my email list, so pretty much every time I send an email, I get a lot of positive emails back. Like people will reply to me, which is so sweet. But then I'll also get like, you know, I'll get like one negative email like once in a while, and it gets in my mind, right, where I'm like, am I bothering people? Like, is this not good? Like, am I like not, you know, is this not what I should be sharing? But it's so, you know, I think it's just human, like part of my humanness, right, is like, it's so easy for us to latch onto that one negative email. It doesn't matter how many people tell us like, oh, I love your emails. Thank you for writing this. I needed to hear this. It's like my brain remembers the negative emails. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is, but I need to work on that. But thank you guys for your affirmations about the emails and your encouragement. So I really love writing them. I've just been trying. I used to write like one long email like a week, but now I've been trying to write like a short email every day. And they're just like 200 or 300 words. They're like really short. My intention is always that they take you like less than 3 minutes to read. And they're just kind of like, here's some things that might be helpful, right? Just something helpful and nice, you know, that people can read to feel less alone and to feel connected to someone. Because if you're struggling, like, girl, I'm out here too. Like, you're not alone. You're not alone. There's so many people in this community that are struggling, and we're all walking through our own journeys and our own struggles in different ways, right? And that's why I love having this community, so we can all connect and support each other. Okay, I gotta get off of here. I gotta get ready to get on a call. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you guys soon.